Hi everyone, today we're going to be looking at a game I played as Serpent, Slumbering Beneath the Island versus England 6. Turn 1, I usually go into a land that I could push a town out of and just play Gift of Primordial Deeps, and then push the town out. So Serpent actually is a pretty pleasant experience whenever you're playing against England 6 because England is kind of a long sort of game, regardless of which spirit you're playing, which kind of plays right into Serpent's playstyle. So what you're going to be doing the first half of the game is really trying to hit the second tier of Serpent grows in power, and looking for minor powers that remove blight or defend. Just trying to keep the island as clean as possible. Turn 2, I'll usually do an Absorb Essence. Just because the Ravage there'll be one blight, but hopefully you hit a land that removes blight, and you're going to be getting a bunch of minor powers anyways, so the chance that you can find some of these blight removing powers so turn 2 here, I played here there'd be monsters, but I feel like I maybe could have. I wanted to go into that corner jungle, so I'm setting up for a turn for Elemental Aegis. So I pushed that other town out, and then I used Absorb Essence in order to get that extra defend. So whenever I'm reclaiming, usually I like to do this combination of Gifted Primordial Deeps and Gifted Flowing Power, because whenever you're playing solo, you can target yourself with them. So I'm trying to hit the second tier of Serpent grows in power whenever I can, as early as I can, I guess. So defending 3, and then a little bit more fear generation. You do want to try to generate some fear, like as you're going along, just so the island like doesn't build twice on that extra England build. I think the real danger for losing this matchup is just letting the builds get out of control, like that 7 threshold build, especially if like lands show up twice in a row. So Serpent rouses an anger, that second tier that lets you push a town, is really doing a lot of the heavy lifting, just to make sure that you don't lose from overpopulation loss. So when we get to this any element on the top track, which is turn 4, usually I'll go Gifted Flowing Power and Gifted Primordial Deeps, Gifted Flowing Power into Absorb Essence, because whenever you absorb Essence, you also get an any card. I guess I don't do it here just because I need the Elemental Aegis. But the ideal play is Absorb Essence. Gives you the any power. Oh, I guess I already have the I already have tier 2, so I didn't even need it. But I get Absorb Corruption, which has the plant and mountain, or earth. And I think the Elemental Aegis just helps with defending the mountains, keeping the island healthy. So we have wetlands coming up, and Absorb Corruption is one of those blight removal cards. Tier 2 Serpent Wakes in Power lets you place another presence, which is always good. And then using Absorb Essence just keeping in mind that you need a certain amount of essence absorbed in order to place more presence on the island. So here wetlands are ravaging. I do want some sort of defend for the middle wetlands specifically. Call to Trade is a good card to get. It prevents another build. I do think like Fire in the Sky would work here, just because that corner wetlands, we could maybe just let it go. We have Renewing Rain, which I think could get rid of, like, we have a lot of blight control. I think what I'm trying to do, yeah, I'm trying to hit tier 2 of Serpent Grows in Power again. So doing another Absorb Essence, and I'll gain a mountain here. So I have the 2 water, 3 earth, and 2 plant. Call to Trade can also gather a town, so I think gathering out of the wetlands helps, because in stage 2, like stage 2 is kind of annoying because whenever you have an escalation, it just builds another town. So I have had it where I'm just not paying attention to the build as closely as I should, and so it's like build, and then another build. So we've hit tier 2 of Serpent Wasted Power twice, which is a really good game. I have had games where I don't hit that second tier, but it's still winnable. I guess it just kind of depends on how the game ends up playing. So the coast is relatively clear, and wetlands are building first. So I do have Elemental Aegis back, and I have my 4 card plays. I will like to get something. Sea Monsters, like, you don't need Sea Monsters here, and it's kind of just a really strong card. So I like to just showcase wins that don't include Sea Monsters if possible. So I'm going 4 cards. I would like to try and hit tier 2 again so I can place another presence. So that's what I'm thinking about. So I picked Blood Rack Plague, just more defend, and I'm thinking about also hitting the elemental threshold for that power. So Serpent has just a ton of ways of getting more, like getting elements. So whenever you're taking the major powers, like think about how to hit that elemental threshold. Like usually you will, just because you have a ton of minor powers, you'll have a ton of card plays and a way of getting a bunch of different elements. So some major powers that maybe aren't as good just by themselves, I like taking them because the elemental threshold actually is really useful for Serpent. So I'm playing Gifted Primordial Deeps. I think I just need a plant here. And I'm trying to think, I'm wondering what I'm thinking about here. Maybe I'm like trying to figure out jungles potentially. Oh, you know what I'm doing? I'm trying to figure out how to get to 4 animal, because Blood Rack Plague needs 4 animal in order to get the 2 earth, 4 animal. And so I'm trying to figure out, oh, can I get to 4 animal? And I think I end up not doing that. Yeah, because I have the any element, and then Absorb Essence can give me another animal, but I just don't have a way of doing that. So I guess I go for Absorb Corruption. I get tier 2 of Serpent Wakes in Power again. I think I would also like 2 moon and 2 earth so that I can push a town. Oh, Fire in the Sky needs a sacred site, so when I did absorb essence before, I took away the sacred site in the inland land, but I don't want to do that. I do want to target this corner mountain with Fire in the Sky there, and then I have 2 defends with Elemental Aegis and Bloodwrack Plague. Maybe I should have put like all of the disease into the corners or the coastal sands potentially. Oh, I think I did put it in the, yeah, I'm thinking of Elemental Aegis. Yeah, so Bloodwrack Plague kind of stacks pretty nicely with Elemental Aegis. Yeah, so I did put Bloodwrack Plague into the coastal sand, and then Elemental Aegis I put into that central wetlands. So things are getting a little bit overcrowded. I just need to be pretty careful about this. I think there are those two disease in the coastal sands, so I think that's not really a priority as much. I definitely need to reclaim, and I'm thinking about reclaiming and if I need to place another presence or not, because I'm not entirely like there are a bunch of other major powers that would be really helpful here. And I just have Bloodwrack Plague. Yeah, so I reclaim, and I think I go for another major power. Dissolve the Bonds of Kinship is good. Instruments of Their Own Destruction are also good. I've had success with both of those. But I do like Instruments of Their Own Destruction. I think because England builds up so much, having the invaders instead damage other lands is really useful. So for those who don't know, Instruments of Their Own Ruin, Instruments of Their Own Ruin, the thresholded part, whenever a land ravages, it deals that damage to invaders in an adjacent land instead of the land itself, like blighting and stuff. So here, what I'm trying to do is figure out how to get 4 sun and also 4 animal. And if that's even possible. So I think I go for the 4 animal. Although I think this is a mistake. I think I should have gone for yeah, I also think I should have dealt that damage into an adjacent land. But I do get kind of a I don't think that last turn was the best. I think what I should have done is put all the damage into a jungle. But I do get this Teach the Invaders event, so things build instead of ravaging, which is good. Another turn of no blighted island. At this point, I'm just trying to keep the land healthy, but it's making sure that you don't lose with seven buildings in a land. That's kind of that's the main thing you need to worry about. Yeah, so I was looking at, I realized I don't have 2 plant here. So I could either remove the blight or gather it. So I gather it out of that coastal sands because sands are ravaging. Do a little bit of cleanup. I don't think that was the best turn. I think I could have done that better. And also, I think I should have focused more on hitting the tier 2 of Serpent Wakes and Power. So I get the any element. So these are kind of these are the cards, the major powers I'm going with. So trying to get 4 sun, I'm trying to get 4 animal. So I'm playing Absorb Essence in order to get another any element, and then I'm looking for sun and animal, and I get Devouring Ants. I think this is the first time I've used Devouring Ants, to be honest, but yeah, so I get the 4 sun, I get the 4 animal. I'm trying to decide where to put this Bloodrack Plague because so Sands Ravaging for sure. I want to put it in. Yeah, I think that the top sands is gonna blight anyways, but I'm not really worried about a blighted island right now. Like we're towards that part where Serpent just kind of becomes unstoppable. All right, so Instruments of Their Own Ruin, you deal damage that would ravage into an adjacent land instead. So it's 9 damage. Yeah, the top sands blights. I probably could have done that a little bit more elegantly, but I think it was fine. Two damage. Maybe I could have placed it in the, I'm not sure if I could have targeted jungles maybe, but we're going to the 5 card plays and reclaim 1. I think we definitely have enough energy. I go for another major power, and I'm kind of just thinking about fear at this point. None of these, like Vengeance of the Dead, I think I've used it before. It has animal and it has a fear component to it, so it's not too bad. I do think Vengeance of the Dead is a decent pickup here because it also enables like the other cards that I have. And I do try to get, so I make a mistake here because there's no ravage happening this turn. So Instruments of Their Own Ruin doesn't do anything because like I go for the thresholded version, but nothing's ravaging, so it kind of doesn't do anything. And I realize this a little too late, but I guess it is what it is. I think ideally what I would want to do is, I'm not sure what the other cards I have right now are, but so I should do Vengeance of the Dead first, and then Bloodrack Plague. Two more fear from Fire in the Sky. Yeah, it just doesn't do anything. I would think I was hoping that the game would understand that I want to do the strife part, but I think you don't have the option of doing the strife version of it if you have the elemental threshold. So, I mean, that's kind of the, just reclaim next turn, play those same cards, go for a fear victory. Pushing out of these jungles because jungles are ravaging twice. So if I can get a good defend in the jungles, I think that'd be good. Yeah, just get the 12 energy. I think I'm calculating like if I could lose if the blights or if the ravages go through. Yeah, I think I just need to reclaim. I think I'm trying to like figure out if I need to I don't know why that one card was, oh, it's because maybe I had it available already. Something in the code. Yeah, just trying to figure out like what the best play is here, but really just play everything I have. Go up to the 4 sun. I'm not sure what am I trying to hit here? Oh, I might be going for defends, like trying to figure out if I want defends or if I want something else. Definitely Instruments of Their Own Ruin into a jungle. But hey, it turns out I had enough fear anyways. So yeah, if you get a good Serpent game, that's kind of how it plays out. So thanks for watching.